Goddamn.
Yo, why YK Osiris's teeth so big?
Your head shaped like a big face.
Because he born him that way.
I don't know if his teeth fake.
All right, let's do this.
Leroy.
He look like one of them honeycomb things back in the day. Perfect for a honeycomb commercial.
Duh, the clink, the lighter flick.
Like you know it's about to be a good video when you hear the
The fucking canister.
We started.
Hold on. This how it is here. Did y'all hear me pouring? Did that? No, you probably didn't hear that. Okay, never mind.
Nah, dude didn't have the desired effect.
Like, yeah, that didn't work, my nigga. All right. Good evening, all. Welcome to Boozy Game Night, episode 4. For those of you who are new to the channel, we appreciate you listening. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music or some other podcast station, just so you know, we're playing Fortnite or we're playing some other kind of video game. So we have mediocre, trash, common, average, whatever kind of gameplay you want to call it, but we have great conversations. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Boozy Game Night. We're going to go ahead and jump right in. My name is Nate the motherfucking Great. Some people call me that nigga. I am colloquially known as Repairman, man.
Duh, let me find out you gave yourself 3 fucking nicknames. I'm just Devin. Just Devin.
Okay.
Well, I'm Dev with the unpopular opinion.
I take Dev.
I like Hot Take Dev.
Yeah, Hot Take Dev is definitely.
Did
I'm
Dev
gonna have to
have
keep
hot
that.
take last episode though?
Not really,
We can
but
go
like
back
I
to
think
that.
in general.
Yeah, definitely in general.
You want me to say it?
Say what?
I like
We got-
I like jalapeno Dev.
I know you fucking lying. Wow.
And who is
Jala-
this that likes jalapeno Dev?
Oh
Look,
my
Jala
god.
Penis. It's your boy Batman Dan. Oh, Danny boy.
Let me find out your fucking intro tag.
My tag, my boy.
My man got an intro
I
song.
was high off glue eating pie at the zoo. Goddamn right.
And last
Yeah,
but not least,
about to
it's
say,
new.
you motherfucking right.
Motherfucking right. Bet. Let's go ahead and jump in. We got a couple of topics we try and talk about tonight. I think the first topic is the DaBaby.
Dumbass.
All right.
I know,
Yeah.
I wasn't on last week. I know y'all kind of touched on DaBaby.
I did not touch on the
But
baby.
I don't think we
I
did
thought
it.
y'all did.
We
I
did.
absolutely did not touch on the
didn't
baby.
touch on them.
Confirmed.
We've been waiting for everybody forever
Is it-
today for this.
Is it correct to make pause jokes while we talk about the baby?
Probably not.
You know? Wow.
Probably not.
No, but there's definitely an update to that situation. This man is getting dropped. left, right.
Canceled.
Yeah.
When we say cancel
Canceled.
culture doesn't exist, I'll be fucking damned because
No.
they canceling his ass quick.
That man
Okay.
had Elton John come out against him. That man had
Did he?
people have yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's
I
had- he
killed
had
the
people
Google
we
mom
haven't
with
heard
the damn
from in
flash
years.
suit on. Oh no, he got a flashback back. My bad.
Come again?
I killed the Google mom. Google mom.
I ain't talking about your Google Mine. I'm talking about what Hot Take Dev talking about.
I ain't asking no goddamn satisfied.
Facts.
I
They ain't
mean,
hitting super inside jokes.
I feel like
right.
for once in our lives, we see this is a demonstration of your ignorance will not be rewarded.
The revolution will not be televised.
Like,
Yeah, I mean,
and
that's
he's
real.
doubled down so many times at this point that it's just like you. It's like you put out these apologies and then you go and do these antagonizing videos and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like at this
He
point,
did.
Yeah.
you
He
know
did
what
actually
you're doing.
Hold on.
release some
Before we-
PR type apology where he was saying, y'all want to cancel people before you get the chance to educate them.
But
Yeah,
he's
they
too
were-
old for that.
Educate.
You are
Educate.
29 years old. You're too old for that shit.
Man.
You know
All I'm
better.
saying is, before we skip past this little video, bro, please swallow your food before you put another bite in. Like, that shit was irking the fuck out
Oh, I
of me.
didn't even watch the
I
video.
didn't see the video yet.
This man was eating the fuck out of this fruit, and he just like, it's like he never like swallowed. Pause, but like, he just kept putting more fucking fruit in his mouth. That shit, bro, that shit was killing. I'm like, bro, can you like
Where's
stop?
it going?
No, you see it. Like, he's chewing, you know, them people that chew with their fucking mouth open as fuck. I'm like, nigga, come on, bro.
Mouth open like shit. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what comes of it from here. I feel like if Tory Lanez, I mean, that being said, Tory Lanez he hasn't been properly, you know, like apparently there's more to that story potentially. What
Well,
the
I
baby
mean,
did was caught in 8K. Like, that shit, there's no hiding what he did. So
the thing about Tory Lanez is a lot of people have been making the point that just like in the scheme of things, when it comes to Black women, people we're not canceling these people with abusive tendencies. You know?
fair.
So Tory Lanez is allegedly abusive towards Black women for what he allegedly did to Meg Thee Stallion, but
he chilling.
I mean, yeah, but that again, that's the point where people are saying they're not going to cancel him because what he did was against a Black woman.
Is he chilling or is he hopping out?
They're not going to cancel him because
he kind of
Black.
big chilling. I ain't gonna lie, he kind of big chilling since then.
No, Dev, you said they're not going to cancel him because Meg was Black.
No, that's the point that a lot of people are making. A lot of people are saying that, I don't know, that the public, the industry, whatever, they don't really care about Black women in the way that they care about like the LGBTQ community. So
I mean, I think
they've been quick to cancel DaBaby because the perception of what he said was that it was against the LGBTQ community.
But some folks over here shooting this loot llama in the water.
Oh, you
So
might as well.
think-
Wow, okay.
So how I seen it said was like, it's because that community like stands their ground, like, hey, don't fucking talk to us like that, or don't, you know, whereas like maybe our community. So basically how,
I mean, 100%.
you know,
Ooh,
how
we're going to talk about how the Black community is divided.
I was just about to say, the thing is there's plenty of Black women who won't cancel or quote unquote cancel Tory Lanez for the things that he did. So at this point, like, if the people who he's doing these crimes against aren't necessarily canceling him, why is anybody else canceling him?
right? That's
I might be going to hell.
This gotta fuck up their money. That's all, you know. So, you know, DaBaby, you know, he's gonna fuck up money if like he's making statements and like, you know, the LGBT community is like, hey, if this motherfucker's at the show, no one in the LGBTQ2IA plus community is like fucking with this. That's a lot
Is that
of money.
a real extension of the?
Yeah, I was about to say.
I ain't never heard that.
Right. It's
Really?
like, there's like, it's like, yes.
I knew there were extra letters. I just didn't.
Oh,
like-
yeah. But the
Yeah.
IA, I ain't never heard the IA.
I think it's LGBTQIA plus.
Yeah, it's forever
or something
expanding.
like that.
Yeah.
What's the
No
plus?
offense to anybody. I honestly
The
just
plus
don't
plus
know.
it just means like we not adding no motherfucking more letters. Y'all niggas just get a plus.
Duh.
There's so many different people. There's asexual, non-binary. You can't literally. There's
So
no
it's-
way to encompass every single letter that the community
test.
encompasses. We'd be here all day.
I bet. I'm on the way.
So that I'm not politically incorrect. LGBTQIA.
Plus.
IA plus.
Yeah,
Yes.
I saw somewhere where it had a 2 in it, and I was like, bruh, like, but
I
I
mean,
mean,
you don't
it just made
necessarily
me
have
Google
to say
search.
that IA. I don't think you
It
can
made me
still just
Google
say
search.
LGBTQ plus.
I mean, you can say
Yeah, I
whatever you
think
want.
like
Plus, technically,
colloquially, you can just kind of like shorthand it. But like, I mean, obviously, there's some people that are might get offended by that, but
I mean, but there's always someone's gonna get offended by
oh,
something.
for sure.
But I mean, it's
I
just
had a
weird because like
conversation
how
with
some
somebody about
things you
that.
see, like it's some things that like we did as a kid that now you look back, you're like, bro, I can't believe we
cringy.
fucking did that. It like
Yeah,
for
Yeah,
example, like we used to play pick 'em up, bust 'em up,
yep.
but
Bust 'em
that
up.
was called smear the queer. That's what we used to
What?
call it. That's
I
what
ain't
we
never
used to
played
call
I
it.
it.
used to
Definitely
call it
called it
throw
I've
that.
'em
never
up,
heard
bust
of
'em up.
that.
No, I've heard it.
What
I've
did
heard
y'all
it
used
called
to
that
call
before.
it?
No, I used to call it throw 'em up, bust 'em up.
Yeah,
That's
Or
what I
same.
called it too. What did you say y'all
But
used to call it?
Newt from
there,
Savannah.
there were like so there were people like growing up. They used to call it smear the queer.
I've
So
heard
that's
of that
have you ever
before.
Wow.
seen? So y'all ever seen what's that movie Moonlight?
I
Nah.
haven't. I actually
Uh,
want to. I know
so-
Mahershala Ali. That's kind of what put him on the map, right? I probably
yeah.
butchered his name just like I
Well,
did Giannis.
that and but before that,
Yanni's.
he used
Gianni's.
to be on House of Cards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I seen him on
But
House.
yeah, so like in in Moonlight, there's where like the guy where Chiron, the main character, when he was a kid, there's a scene where he's playing where like the kids are playing pick 'em up, bust 'em up, and he's like scared to play. And it was kind of like they never said it, but it was kind of like
Implied.
implying that they were playing smear the queer. And it was just like, oh man, like I never thought about like people saying that, like growing up. I just never thought of it as like a offensive like
Yeah.
word. It's just
What,
like
the word queer? Or you mean like that
yeah,
phrase in general?
the word and that phrase. I just never like, just it's like so one time I was at work and someone at my job, we were cleaning and someone was like spick and span clean. And you never think about like
Oh
that's
my
like that.
god.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
like
never thought about that shit.
I had
Yeah.
to
Hey, I'm
either.
just letting
like
y'all know, don't go in there. I'm about to set this shit on fire. I seen niggas and I'm about to go fucking.
Oh
but like you
wait,
just
pause. Did I just? Wow, what?
yeah, like you don't think about it. Like that was a whole brand of cleaning supply.
Is it not still a brand?
I don't know.
I thought
But is
I
it?
would have
Span
thought
was
they
still
canceled
a
it like Aunt
brand.
Was that
Jemima.
just a
2020, we
phrase
got that
that
shit
they
out of here,
used, or
buddy.
is that why they called
Set
them
them on
that?
fire.
Nah, that's a whole phrase.
No, but I'm saying, like, was there an actual correlation between the reason why they're called that and why they named the company that? Because
It
sometimes it's
has to be
like,
because like that's a whole slur.
Yeah.
Ooh, I
well, no,
killed
what
Ariana
I'm getting
Grande.
at is like, was it deemed a slur after the company came out, or
Oh
like,
yeah, I have no
was it
idea.
like, did the company come out and then it became a slur after the fact, or
I
was it
think it's been
already a slur and they were just like, fuck it, we're gonna use this name
Just like
anyway?
we're gonna use it anyway.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure it's
nah,
been a
that's
slur.
Yeah, that seems like one of them old fashioned slurs.
As far
My
as
first time.
I mean, I feel like maybe the context around the game might be offensive, but from what I've seen, I don't know. I could be wrong, but from what I've seen, I don't really think a lot of people take offense to to the term queer.
No, but it's the phrase altogether. Saying queer is fine, but saying smear
But
the
the
queer, yeah,
yeah.
that's
well.
God
So
But
damn.
I mean,
now when I
I've
think
heard
about
that
how
I've heard
much
that queer is offensive too, and I heard you're supposed to say
Fire
questioning
ass.
now.
well, like I
so say
guess
what?
it
Say that one
depends
more
on the
time.
person.
Q is questioning now, from what I
Oh,
hear.
huh. No,
I feel like it depends on the. I would say it depends on the person because like we have to think about there's people there are older people in the community who might not necessarily find that term in particular offensive, but there are newer people coming up who for whatever reason they find that term offensive. So but some of this stuff too is like knowing knowing the people that you're around. Like, don't come out the gate calling someone queer
Grab my
and you
card if
don't
you
know
can.
if they
Already
are
got your card.
offended
Oh,
by
okay.
Where's it at?
I got it already.
All
Just
right,
had
bet.
to go with 'em.
Yeah, it's
But, I
better
mean-
to be safe than sorry.
I think about how we used to, well, not necessarily we, but I know a person in particular who used to throw around the F word.
Oh yeah.
Like, so the thing about that for me was this person was around, like, grew up around people in the LGBTQ community. So I'm just like what? Like,
If it
are
makes
you
sense.
not, like, do you not care? You just don't give a fuck at that point.
If a lot of the time, I hate to blame stuff on youth because some, like, when people say the N word as a young age, it is like learned habits, like. But
So
that's
who
what it is.
taught Fat Joe to
Sometimes.
say it?
Fat Joe, you said?
Who taught Fat Joe to say it?
Listen, I don't even want to get into that conversation because I have some
What is the
unpopular opinions about that. But
Yo,
happened with
on
Fat Joe?
just a quick
He's
side
not
note.
black.
When he was doing his little recap of the Locks versus fucking Dipset, when he was narrating how they came on the I'm from New York, he didn't say nigga I'm from New York. He said man I'm from New York. So I was like,
Yeah, because he know better.
he like deliberately
now.
not say that.
Nah, he know better now. But he can't take back all them songs he been saying. Nigga. It's
I feel like I need to
Pitbull.
hear more about this.
Oh, he literally has my
I didn't
niggas
know
don't
about it,
dance.
neither.
We just pull up our pants. It's niggas.
Me and
over
my
here.
nigga.
first of all, he was in a whole movie
Y'all hold up. Let us get over there.
when he was younger, and I'm pretty sure he was throwing around the word nigga.
But I feel like if you want to take the conversation there, a lot of the time when it comes to Hispanics or Asians, and I don't know how it is now, but like growing up, they felt like they had a pass to say it. Like,
Okay,
they just
I don't
did.
know why.
I don't know
can-
why either. But
I don't know where that shit came from.
I have a little bit of
He's
insight
right
on
here.
the situation. Growing up in PG County, we had a very mixed.
Hey,
I would say
it's a nigga walking around here too.
our community was very mixed. So, like, growing up,
damn it.
we had a lot of black
Damn.
people. We had a lot of Asians and Pacific Islanders because we like the specifications around here. So, in my high school, we had a lot of Filipinos, and at the time, I feel like we could liken PG County to kind of like how we think about New York, where everybody says nigga, whoever it doesn't matter who they are, everyone says nigga. But at the same token, even some of my friends, now that we are the age that we are, some of my non-black friends have learned and migrated away from using the term. So,
yeah,
even though in our youth they might have used the word and nobody really said anything, now that we're older, it's kind of, for me, it's kind of like, for some people,
we finished the match. If you want to sub in for somebody,
it's okay. It's okay.
Oh,
I can sit out.
No, y'all good. I'll play the next one.
All right.
But for some people, it's like at least if you're gonna use the term, and this is again for some people, they're like, well, know who you're around. Like, you don't just go out in public. We might understand because we grew up around you, like, around this situation. But don't take that outside of the situation because you will get the shit beat out of you. But like I said, with my specific friends, they have actually migrated away from using that term. Now, there are some people very much so who don't, who are still using it. And I don't know. I don't get it because just like okay, so
We're on Team
context.
Brawl, Newt.
I was on Twitter today, and there was a conversation around, do people want to be called, like, do Hispanic people want to be called Hispanic? Do they want to be called Latinx? What do they want to be called, right? And people were like, there were people
It's not letting me pick it.
oh, you got to sit out again. That's what
Mhm.
happens when you watch. It makes you like join
Oh,
in. Yeah,
okay.
it's trash.
There were people on Twitter. Can I use the B word? Is that okay?
The B word,
What's B word?
like a
What's,
beaner.
Like, yes, beaner. Can we say beaner?
Oh,
Thought you
I
was gonna say
mean,
bitch.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I
Are
really
you
thought
telling
you were
me
gonna say
people
bitch.
want to be called beaners, or they're saying like, "Don't
Well,
call me a beaner"?
there were people saying that they'd rather be called a beaner than Latinx. But then
What?
at the same token, there were people also saying, well, they were like, well, the only people who can call me a beaner is another Hispanic. So I'm like,
Okay.
I don't if you understand that concept as far as the term beaner, why is the term nigga any
Nigga,
different?
why is that so hard to understand?
So it's
Yeah.
like you understand.
maybe those aren't the people that are having a hard time understanding.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nah, I disagree
I don't
with
feel
that.
like, but see, I feel like we're giving people too much grace. A lot of people know
Yeah.
we're too, you know, and you understand. You just don't
Right.
give a fuck.
Right.
So the best way I've seen that described is what's the guy's name? He's a writer, Ta-Nehisi Coates. So basically, how he described it was, so he's a black guy, he's a writer. He
I
described,
think
so I guess
we lost Daniel. I mean, we could
Yeah.
probably keep going, but I'm
Babe,
assuming
I think
did you mean to get
people
off?
were,
Go ahead, Ta-Nehisi Coates, Black Panther artist and more, writer and more.
Mm-hmm.
oh no, yeah, so he's a black writer. So basically, he was talking about how like white people wanting to say like nigga and stuff, and so
wait, where y'all
I
going? Fuck.
yeah, the pin disappeared, but
Oh yeah, go here. Here it is.
but
There you go.
basically he was saying how white people, or not white people, all people have every group has like an internal like term that they use within each other that people outside can't use. And basically how he described it was, he was like, okay, he was like, my wife. He was like, I call her honey or baby. He's like, if some random woman, not my wife, called me honey or baby in front of my wife, there would be a problem. And then he was like, my wife, she refers to her friends as bitch. One day I came home from work and she was like, honey, how was work? And I was like, bitch. He was like,
I was like,
it's
"Yeah."
he was like, it's going down. He's like, so how, he was like, but he was like, you guys don't desire to say bitch. You guys don't desire to say other people's pet names to them. Why do you desire to say nigga so bad?
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of like, how he was, that's your infatuation with nigga. And I was just like, oh damn, I never really, and I always use that to explain it to people.
Of other races
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah, that's just, I've always used that. I was like, I'm gonna always use that.
But I feel like the infatuation with people have that people have with using the word nigga,
Ooh,
the simplest way to put it is the fact that we all communities and societies have want a piece of black culture. You know? Like we our black culture, especially American black culture, is always up for grabs. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. It's just that simple. It's up for grabs. It's on display. It's fair game. You know, so people feel like it's out there for everybody to just pick and choose and take pieces from. Literally, nothing is safe. Not a damn thing is safe.
I never thought of it like that. It is.
And I mean, so that's like my point with with the Hispanic community. Like the thing about even all non-white communities, I will say, is that we in America we don't recognize that his first of all, Hispanic is not a race. Hispanic that's your ethnic background. So there are very much so black people who are Hispanic. But the problem is that when we're talking about like the Asian and Hispanic community, everybody, like, we start lumping everybody into POC, people of color, including Black people. So then it's like everything becomes group, all cultures become grouped together in the sense of being able to pick and choose from Black culture. But we can't do the same when it comes to the other cultures, you know? And especially with the Hispanic community, there are white Hispanic, like, simply put, there are white Hispanics, there are Black Hispanics, there are even Asian Hispanics. You might not necessarily see them in the forefront, but there are very much so Asian Hispanics, because Hispanic is not a race, it's your ethnic background. So yes, there are Black, but most of what we see when we see Hispanics say a nigga are, I guess we can call them racially ambiguous. So the ones where we're like, we don't know what the fuck what are you? You know? And the very much so white Hispanics or the mestizos. So it's not, when we see, most of the time what we see,
History class on them.
what we
about
see,
Despacito?
oh my gosh. What we see as the representation of Hispanics using the word nigga is not the Afro-Latino people. It's not the actual Black Hispanics. And there's a lot of people, like, contrary to popular belief, there's a lot of people in the Hispanic community who would be like, well, we don't see race like that. But if you don't see race like that, then why are there people speaking out saying that their particular communities, like Afro-Panamanian, like, these people are struggling, you know, for being Black in their communities? So do you or do you not see race that way? You
When
do.
you say Hispanic though, like, isn't that someone whose like background derives like literally from like Hispaniola?
No. So Hispanic,
Okay.
there's,
So like
there's,
you got to educate me because I got a
and
homie
Oh,
that
are
explained
you
it to me like
driving?
that. I am. I just finished the mission.
Not you, my brother
No,
is
he's
like,
talking about
looks
he's
like
talking
he's
about
driving.
Devin. Devin, it looks
Yeah,
like you're driving, but like
so
Oh, really?
the
yeah.
meaning of the terms Hispanic and Latin or Latino have different but similar connotations. Hispanic refers to people coming from countries that speak Spanish. So you can be Spanish from Spain and be Hispanic, if that makes sense.
See, I had a homie that told me like that to him. So he's Mexican, and he told me like he doesn't really prefer to be called Hispanic because he thinks of Hispanic people as people that literally like
In Spain?
have a lineage. No, like they have a
From
lineage
Hispaniola.
from Hispaniola. I don't like. I'm not
I
the
mean,
biggest fucking like history person. I don't know if
I
that's a
guess people
country
have
or
different.
whatever, but like
Hispaniola is
or
the
old
island of
country rather.
Hispaniola is the Dominican Republic and Haiti.
Oh,
Like,
Interesting.
that's the
I
island.
I would never think of that. Like,
Which is, so I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't say where. Maybe that's what they teach Hispanic as being, where he's from. But from what I know, Hispanic refers to Spanish speaking people. Latino refers to people from Latin America. So that encompasses that people think even Haitians, even though Haitians do not speak Spanish, they are they are from Latin America, so they are included in that community of people. Spain, on the other hand, is they are not Latin people,
right,
if that makes sense.
right.
Spain is not in Latin America. They are just Spanish and they're Hispanic people.
Are they Hispanic though, or are they just like Spanish?
No. So in terms of the, when we're talking about Latin people and Hispanic people, Spanish people from Spain are just, they're either, you can either say they're Spanish or
So
Hispanic,
they're like,
but you don't.
would they
But
not just be like Spaniards?
yeah, but you can use those either term to describe them.
Hmm. There's some artifacts here if nobody's gotten them, but
But yeah, It's a multitude of things, but
Hey, DaBaby, you see how we don't know about these things and we're just like being quiet and letting her educate us?
Baby, I know you're listening to this. Duh, baby.
DaBaby,
And-
DaBaby.
I mean,
Jonathan Kirk.
That's
these
his
days,
name?
like
Damn.
that's his name, but his whole
Yeah, it's
government
like
out
Jonathan
there.
something Kirk.
I'm weak
Captain Kirk looking ass.
Hey,
with
if
a
the baby
name
ever
like
listen
damn.
to
that.
this, I used to live in Charlotte. I went to the Walmart where you
Damn.
killed that nigga. That shit's wild as fuck, bro.
No,
Like,
Wow. Okay.
I know you a whole murderer
no,
out here,
it's
but
no, that shit's so crazy though. Like I remember we moved to Charlotte in like
Leave me
2017. Sorry to go on this like crazy ass tangent, but like we moved to Charlotte in 2017, and I feel like for me that's when I like maybe first heard about DaBaby, and then it was like, oh yeah, he killed a nigga in Walmart. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy as fuck. Like Charlotte is wild. And then I found
You
out
been
like
out
that
that long?
Walmart was like 10 minutes away from me. I'm like, oh fuck. Like DaBaby killed a nigga here. Like it's Charlotte's wild, bro. Because it's what's also crazy is like we live near like uptown Charlotte, which is like downtown in any other major city, but Charlotte calls it uptown. And like you know, they're gentrifying all the areas around Charlotte, but the Walmart where he killed the dude is definitely still like low-key the hood. But it was like the closest Walmart to us, so we always went to it. But like literally like across the street, like you know, I wouldn't say it was like bandos and shit like that around it, but it was definitely like the hood. And you go like 5 minutes down the road, it's like, oh, luxury apartments, like $1,700 a month, and then it's just kind of wild, bro. Charlotte's such an interesting city.
Is this is alleged? Like it's proven that he killed this dude?
yeah, it's
Yes.
Nah, he's
it was
definitely
self
killed that dude.
defense.
He capped
Yeah.
this nigga. Nah, he capped this nigga, bro.
Yeah, we know he killed that man.
Yeah, it's not no alleged. It's
Yeah, it's
Facts.
DaBaby. I capped this nigga. Like he says it in
You
like
gotta
I said he even said
17
he
different
killed them.
songs. Like yeah, like I killed this nigga. Blah, 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 blah. Huh? Like
Yeah, there's no
Nah.
tiptoeing
Oh.
around that one.
Ooh.
New. It's on Team Brawl again.
Oh, I'm sitting out this one.
Oh, damn! I
Oh,
thought
it's
Nate
Nate.
was
oh, so I'm the party leader.
Yes, sir.
Hit that renegade on him.
Did anybody see the verses?
I did
I
not.
did not. You might be the
It was-
only one, bro.
I'm about to say, it seemed like you're the only person.
Oh man.
All I know is I got 100 guns, 100 clips, nigga. I'm not from New York.
I was
New
born in
York.
New York.
I heard Jaded. Like, here's the thing, bro. Like, I fuck with Dipset. I fuck with the Locks. All them niggas. Like, but like, I'm not from up north, so I don't know these niggas
You-
like
you
entire
almost ready up,
discographies.
though.
Did I not? Oh my bad. But I heard like Jadakiss was like just like
On
shutting niggas down, bro. Yeah, bro. Like I heard he was just like on his shit. All the
It
clips I've
sounded like he
seen.
was choosing violence. Like what was it? Was it Gucci Mane?
So
His
did y'all
ass was
see?
choosing violence.
Did y'all see the Jadakiss versus when he went against Fabulous?
I heard about
Nah,
it.
I didn't.
Oh,
But I know he
So-
won. I know he won.
All right, yeah. So backstory: Jadakiss went against Fabulous, and he beat Fabulous. It was probably like
Out of 20.
18-2,
Damn, really?
and it wasn't even that.
Like you're not even
Fabulous-
being sarcastic.
No, it was probably it was so one sided, but it wasn't like Fabulous doesn't make good music. He just was picking the wrong songs. Like he was playing stuff that like it was probably like 3 Fabulous songs that he played. I was like,
I'm gonna go to
Bro,
my marker
I've
and then I'll go
never
to one
heard
of
of this.
y'all's.
Yeah, I have a daily to do at my marker, so I'm landing over here to do it, and then I'll meet y'all.
We can meet
was
at
like-
Dev's marker.
but yeah, it was like all right, like Fabulous. Like there's like 3 songs like I hadn't even heard. Like I was like, okay, I never heard this song. And then, but you know, and I mean, Jadakiss has an extensive like catalog that he can pick from. Like he can
But,
go
like-
Jay-Z songs, he can go DMX songs, he can go Biggie songs. Like he can go his own personal discography,
That's kind of what I was gonna ask though. Like the one thing I don't like about some of the versus matches is that like, okay, you're playing this song, but like, is it really your song? That's the shit that gets annoying for me because like I
That's how it
understand you're
started, though.
featured. Is
Well,
it?
so how
Yeah.
the original verses was like producer and
Producers.
songwriters.
Yep.
So
Mm,
a lot of them didn't even so it was
They weren't
like
artists. Yeah.
to me personally, I think the most interesting verses was Neo versus Jonte Austin. And like Jonte Austin's playing all these Aaliyah songs, and then you got or Mariah Carey songs. You got Neo's playing like all these like Beyonce songs, and I was like, oh shit. But so like for this one, it was just like so when you think of like Dipset, or when you think of like music that impacted like hip hop, you think, okay, oh,
mhm.
Dipset's got this in the pack. Dipset, like Santana's Town, Dipset. When that comes on, you like, okay, that's gonna be a win. When
Right.
like or like I don't know, just like Mr. Postman, or you think like, and then the whole Dipset. So you got Jim Jones balling, you got Cameron, that whole Purple Haze album. You got just all, but when those songs came on, they did not hit,
Really.
and it all came down to performance. Jadakiss came like so. First of all, the Locks came in. Very first song they played was "Fuck You," and I was just like, "Oh, okay." They set the tone. It was like, "Oh," and the first song Dipset played was like, what was it "We Ready?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I like that song, but that's not a song that I would start with." Or no, that wasn't a song. They didn't start. It wasn't "We Ready." It was "I'm Ready." The "I'm Ready." I was like, okay, yeah, I like that song, but I was just like, that's not the song I would start with. And then the next song, um, the Locks played. I think it was like a Biggie song, and I was like, oh, okay, like these niggas not playing. And then I was like, oh man, like and then like they went with like a Jim Jones track, or no, they went with I can't remember. I gotta find the order, but I was just like, oh, you made these guys play that song that early, and then it was like, all right, Jadakiss was like, all right, we still in the crowd, and it was just like but it was the theatrics, it was them being engaged, like the back talk behind each song. It was Dipset just they didn't have the energy they were supposed to have, and it mattered.
Yeah. It's
The
not like
only
Yeah.
person that really had that energy was Cameron. Cameron was like, "Shut up, nigga, fuck you, fuck." Like he was going off like
Said
Cameron
about
bought a
the
lawn chair on the
bandana.
stage.
I definitely think like part of the idea behind verses is definitely the performance, but also the order in which you play songs. Because like if niggas know your discography, they're gonna know like, okay, like these are the songs that you're most likely to
Likely
play.
gonna play, yeah. And I'm
Yeah,
gonna
but
play
like
these in
if you don't play
response.
them in the right order, then you're kind of fucked. And you still
Right.
got to have like the contingency plans. You got to be able to go, oh, okay, like, damn, I didn't realize, he was gonna play this or they were gonna play that. So let me pull this out.
Yeah. Oh, and then like just um, I knew like Locks had it in the bag when they played Band from TV, and Cameron and Jadakiss are both on Band from TV, and I was like, who's gonna play it first?
Mm.
And
on the yellow marker is Artifact.
I was just like, damn, like that's crazy. But it was wild, man. It was like I was just like, damn, I can't believe like the score was like 30 to -1.
Damn. Was it really that bad?
Like no songs that were supposed to be definite wins for Dipset were not definite wins. Ballin' should have been a
Wow.
definite win.
Yeah.
Santana's Town should have been a
Yeah.
definite win. Hey Ma
Right.
should have been a definite win. Oh
Yep.
Boy should have been a definite win.
Yep. Yep.
None of them were definite wins. Welcome to New York City
Damn.
with Jay-Z should have been a definite win. Like
Damn.
none
That's
of those songs were
rough.
definite wins.
Wow.
I was like, bruh. I saw someone tweet. They were like, bruh, Joel Santana better get up there and play Run It.
Is your man?
And then Jewels was like, "Well, y'all don't got no songs for the ladies." Man, they play "Honey" remix with Mariah Carey. I was like, bruh.
Damn.
It was like I was
And
like, oh my god. Yeah, it was sick. And then at
We
that
got
point,
Grammys.
yeah, he was going in. Jadakiss was going in. And then he hadn't even played All About the Benjamins yet. I was like, oh my god. Like he hadn't even I was just like, oh, this is crazy.
Do y'all have a is there a verses that y'all would like to see that hasn't happened yet? Or even like if it's somebody that has had a verses but you would have preferred them to go up against another artist.
It was T-Pain versus Lil Jon. I didn't watch the verses, but I feel like T-Pain wins that pretty easily. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just have T-Pain in
That's
a
what I
lot
do like about the verses.
higher
Some of them
regard.
that you think are gonna be blowouts are like pretty
Real
damn
close.
yeah.
I think one I would like to see. I would like to see more like producer ones instead of like
Yeah,
artist ones.
definitely.
I would like someone has to stand in front of Pharrell
I would want to see a
or the
Wayne Jay-Z.
Neptunes.
Maybe like Scott Storch.
In front of Pharrell.
Man, I don't know. I don't remember when I saw it. It was Scott Storch against somebody.
Manny
I don't
Fresh,
think it
and
was
he beat him
Pharrell.
like
It might have been Man. Whoa!
it was
They
Manny
already had
Fresh.
one.
Scott Storch went against Manny Fresh, and it
Oh,
was
that's how you know I don't be watching them shit.
it was like 1-19.
Damn.
Like and Manny Fresh is a legend, but Scott
Yeah.
Storch it's Scott
Scott
Storch.
Storch definitely has way better catalog. I might have to go back and listen to that one because I didn't even realize they had a
And
verse.
Manny Fresh was like doing some shady stuff. He was like playing like news clippings of like it was like Scott Storch arrested for it was like
Oh,
Scott Storch is on cocaine. It was like he was like I was like, bro, you're bugging.
that's weird.
He was like using his like turns to like play that.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
it
think the
was just
obvious people
Hey, you
that
switched up your audio?
nah, can you not hear me?
Oh, I think you got farther from your mic or something. I can hear you. It just
I got a headset on, but you can hear me now, right?
yeah, I can hear you. You good? I was just
Yeah. I mean, I think the obvious people that it would be nice to put into a versus like Wayne, Drake, Jay-Z, Kanye.
they're only going against each other. That status of people.
Yeah. Like I don't think no shit like that would ever happen, honestly. But like those, I
Is
think
there
are
a good matchup for Kanye?
Drake.
I think somebody said Kanye would be a good matchup for like Beyonce, maybe. I may be
What?
mixing up the artist, but like
All right.
Different
so.
to me.
But I think what somebody was saying is that like the range of their music would low key make it a good matchup, even though like at like face value it seems like it would be odd. And I may be mixing it up with someone else, but it was definitely the other person was Beyonce for sure. And I feel like the opponent was Kanye. But
Well, if we talking about Beyonce, I got one question. If you could have Beyonce, would you take so long?
Really?
shut
The answer is no.
Speaking of
that-
Kanye, it's streaming right now.
Only reason
Oh,
I feel
it
like
is?
that wouldn't even be necessarily a fair match is just because Kanye is
A superhero.
like he does it all. Like he's a super producer at this point. He does like he actually makes his own music, and most of what we've gotten from Beyonce is I don't know. I couldn't tell, what her background is in production. Like I'm sure she has a hand in producing some stuff in regards to her like music, but like not damn, Daniel, can you get this off my head? Not in the sense that like Kanye does, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like that would even be a good mashup.
Yeah, it may not have been Kanye, Beyonce, but I don't know.
I saw
Maybe I can
some.
go and find a tweet or
If
something.
if
I saw
I'm
some people
Kanye,
saying something about Beyonce, and I was just like, I honestly couldn't think of who you could put Beyonce against simply because you cannot deny the fact that what she provides is, even if you don't care for her music, like her performances are top quality, you know? So like I don't think there's not many people who could match that.
yeah. See, if
And
I'm Kanye in a versus, I'm being shady. I'm playing my first tracks are going to all be
Are the
all the
ones that I
tracks that I
produced for
produced for you.
Beyonce.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
well, and that's
Because I'm about to cut your legs out before the fucking match start. Like, I
These
don't give
niggas
a
ain't
shit.
even playing fair.
That's a fucking chicken.
Y'all out here rocking wrinkled silks.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this live stream, just trying to see what's going on.
Donda.
So the question is, does Donda really drop tomorrow? Does Certified
With
Lover Boy drop tomorrow?
Oh, you think he'll just drop it?
I think
Drop it, no
Drake coming
promo?
on your head top, bruh. Hell
With the
yeah,
petty?
bruh.
With the pettiness?
Yeah, bro. I think he been on that bullshit. I would not be surprised if both of them drop tomorrow. I
That would
think,
be in the next 13 minutes.
oh, is it that late? Wow. I think what confuses me though is that like if Kanye had a listening party 2 weeks ago, like
He's
clearly the
levitating
album
right now,
wasn't done. But the album, what?
bro. He's levitating out of the
Is he in the
Mercedes-Benz Stadium
studio
right now.
again? I'm not
No, like
No,
stadium.
he's
no.
doing
This is
he did another
I'm
like performance, like a
yeah.
listening
I'm looking at
party,
the live stream right now. He's like levitating out of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium right now.
No, that's what I was asking if he was in the
like out
stadium
of the
again.
middle of the dome, like the top.
Yes, I
Oh,
promise you. Like I
that's why I gotta check that out.
Dog.
Your Apple Music subscribers.
Yeah, I got it too.
Oh shit! What? Oh wow!
and
now I gotta go see
the
this shit.
album's playing.
Let me not get shot out here trying to
I
fucking.
mean, he is Jesus.
Yandi.
Yandi. Yandi.
Did you never hear about that? I
Oh,
thought
Yeah, I
Yandi
heard
was supposed to
about
be
it.
like the follow up to Yeezus.
It was supposed to.
Oh, I'm out here fucking these motherfuckers up.
My controller is on some shit.
Well,
Is
it's
it your
safe to say if this
controller or is it
motherfucker is levitating, that shit is coming out.
I ain't lagging. It's just my controller. It's
Oh,
on
and he's
some
got
shit.
choirs.
There's a sniper right here if anybody wants it.
I'll
He
take it.
paid the choir?
This is the same song I heard before though. He's done miracles.
Nah,
on me.
but now he added a choir to it though.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I only heard it
I
once.
hear
I
it.
wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah. There's
Damn, is
two
it
of them.
time to
Oh,
retire?
there's the
my
whole
favorite-
squad. Fuck.
Is it time to retire?
My favorite controller. This shit about to be like this.
Bitch. Where's this other one? Oh my fuck.
In the tree.
This fucking bitch in the bushes.
I had marked up. You would have seen that bitch.
I saw her at the last second.
Hey, all I'm saying is I got you with the assist because right before you hit her, I hit her for 104 blue.
Appreciate you. Oh
with the
shit, my
sniper
bad.
snipe.
I'm still reviving her through the wall.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
It's not showing it on my end. Oh, it is. Okay, cool.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
You're Oh, there's only one person left. We got a motherfucking dub. Or we better.
The topic
Let's we
that
go
only
against-
I care about.
Hi, I'm Dave.
Nah, we all care about that shit. That's
Who?
fair.
I'm
I
gonna hold
Who
off.
was
on
we?
it.
Not
Dog.
Not caught
Well,
up to.
everybody with good taste in media.
That's
That-
debatable.
But
What kind of bullshit you about to say, bruh?
No, I was actually going to talk about the Disney shit, the Scarlett Johansson, before it gets too crazy. So
Oh no,
she
yeah,
gets
that is
paid.
wild.
Yeah, she gets paid. You know, a lot of actors get paid based off of box office performance. Big actors.
Yeah.
So because of the COVID and shit, they kept pushing back her movie Black Widow. So it could be theater exclusive, and they finally said we're gonna release it on Disney Plus as well.
The
And
same
when they
day.
did that,
Is there a
yes,
dude up here?
and when they did that, it breached the contract they had because like she was supposed to get paid off of box office performance. So they made like over $30 million off of just Disney Plus alone. I watched it on Disney Plus. I didn't go to a theater to watch it. So it's just like a big
Yeah,
deal that
you didn't get Scarlett Johansson paid.
I guess not, but I didn't know she was gonna get
You are trying to give her
shafted.
her coins, my guy.
Man, that it's a big deal though, because she's just a big celebrity. And when that stuff happens, it usually doesn't happen to like well-known people like that.
People that aren't black.
That too.
Plus that we can
Race has to
basically
play
kiss her
into it.
character goodbye because Disney.
Well, spoiler alert for those that haven't seen Endgame.
Don't do it.
What's in game?
Duh.
Not.
Nah, you
Although
don't know what Endgame is.
No, I know what
Dead ass
in game
serious.
is, but you know I don't be fucking with all of it.
Nah, you
I-
know Marvel.
It's not even that I don't fuck with it, bro. It's that I just haven't taken the time.
You
to,
missing
like,
out.
I
though.
want to. I
Yeah.
want to watch all the Marvel movies like in. Oh, the Kanye shit ended. I want to watch all the. He must have floated out of the stadium like up.
Yeah, it must
But I
have
wanna watch-
started and then it's ended. Yeah.
I want to
I've
watch all
watched
the
them
Marvel
all.
movies in order. But I hear there's like different orders, like the phases, or that it's like, oh, you can
Bro,
watch it kind of like.
theatrical, man.
What
Watch
do you
them
mean?
the theatrical
Like
order.
in the order that they came out.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, but here's the thing, bro. It's gonna take like
No, it's gonna
like
take
2
a hot
months.
minute. Yeah.
bro.
Probably
It's like-
longer to be honest.
I mean,
Would it really? I feel like it took us only like what, maybe like 2 weeks tops.
Y'all were watching a movie a night or 2 movies a night?
Well, I had already seen some.
but see, I'd want to go back and rewatch the movies that I like have seen. So like,
Yeah.
I've seen like the Iron Man movies. I've seen. I don't even know what other fucking movies go into that. I mean, like Black Panther.
Captain
I've seen Black Panther.
America, Thor.
I've seen parts of Captain America. I've seen parts of like I
Thor?
haven't seen like Guardians. I haven't seen Thor.
Guardians,
I
Ant-Man,
haven't seen Ant-Man.
know.
I ain't seen none of that shit.
Spider-Man.
And
I
then
think
when
we
y'all
might
be
have been-
coming in like, oh, Loki and all this other shit, I'm like, God
Yeah,
damn.
those
Like,
are the TV shows.
let
They got
me watch the
Loki,
movies, and then I got to spend another like 12
WandaVision.
months watching the fucking TV shows. Like, I'm never gonna catch up, bro.
I think we might have been more because like we would watch it on the weekends when he was off. So I think we probably watched maybe what, like 2 a day or something at most, right, babe?
Yeah.
Friendly
setting out this
reminder
time.
that if you hear us talking random shit, we're playing Fortnite. And if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Music, that's why. So you should go to YouTube and subscribe to Boozy Game Night.
To be fair, sometimes the audio is my way when I'm cutting the grass or something. But yeah, it's for it to make the most sense when motherfuckers be, oh shit. It's definitely
Who's saying, oh shit? Why are they talking about motherfuckers? Like, because we playing Fortnite and this motherfucker's coming at us.
But yeah, that's all I had to say about that. I just thought the whole situation was wild, and it happened less than a week ago. So we're yet to see how it will play out. in
Well,
terms
I
of
saw
her
that they were
still
gonna
Disney.
that they made a counterclaim or something that
Of course they did.
I think their claim was that she made X amount based off the theatrical release. But her whole
Well,
thing is, I'm
part
supposed
of
to
the
make.
claim part of the claim that I saw that they were making was that her basically making this filing this suit against them shows that she has a disregard for the fact that there is a whole
severity of
pandemic
the
out.
virus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild that they try to spin it that way. it should have been a situation. My
I mean,
understanding
they're not
is
wrong.
they didn't break her off any of the streaming. It's different. If y'all wanted to release it streaming too, then we need to renegotiate the contract. That's what it is. If they did
Yeah.
renegotiate, that's one thing. If they just flat out said we're still going off of theatrical because that's what we told you, but we're gonna undercut your theatrical by putting it on demand at the same time, then
I
that's
wouldn't be surprised though. Like, just coming from a field where like I've had the opportunity to kind of work on like contracts, like bro, like contracts, they just have all kinds of shit in them, and like obviously you have legal teams. Like I'm sure she had a legal team, and Disney's legal team is obviously probably like 50 motherfuckers, but like
yeah.
it's like really simple shit that like, oh, like, this won't happen if an act of God occurs. And someone could probably argue that like COVID is an act of God. Like, even if motherfuckers think it was created in a lab and like all this other shit, it's like, oh, okay, well, COVID happened. It's an act of God. This, like removes any of our liability to do X, Y, and Z. So like shit like that like gets super fucked up when it comes to contracts, bro.
Yeah.
And like, then it's like, oh, she might have been like, all right, well, like it's time for us to renegotiate because this is happening. And they're like, nah, like you signed this shit, we're gonna uphold this shit, like, and it is what it is. So I don't know, bro. Like I've just like I've had to. I won't say that I've like literally written contracts because I'm not a lawyer, but like even still, just like working with contracts and working with legal teams, and like having like some of my bros that are lawyers, like I just know how like fucked up legal shit can be. Because the I think the one thing I learned about law, bro, it's not about what the law is or like how you interpret it. It's about how well you can argue your side of the law. Like literally every single law can go either fucking way. But whoever has the better argument, whoever has the better proof, whoever has the better evidence, like that's who fucking wins. It doesn't matter what the fucking law says.
Yeah, that's insane. But yeah, that's the way the system works. It's on you, Nate.
Oh shit, my bad. Yeah, bro, it's just fucked up.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah.
fucked up.
Shit, who else is dropping? Nas?
Tonight?
Is he really?
Yeah, Nas is supposed to be dropping an album, I think, too.
Oh, weren't we supposed to talk about Dr. Dre's daughter? I was thinking about Detox. Like, I had like a whole tangent like about.
Oh, this
Detox,
shit never
but
came out.
It, yeah, right. But like,
Yeah,
I know
his
that was a
daughter.
topic.
His daughter,
That
like,
situation
homeless,
is
right?
interesting.
Explain
You
the
said what?
situation because I didn't get a chance to. I pulled a
Okay.
dev last week and didn't watch the video.
Well, since I put up the topic, so the situation is that Dr. Dre's, now we know he's been going through this stuff with his ex-wife.
Yeah.
So Dr. Dre's 38-year-old daughter recently came out within, I think, like I would say the past week, claiming that she's currently homeless and living, like basically living in her rental car. And she said that her dad, who is Dr. Dre, basically stopped paying her bills about 2 years ago. And I think also keep in mind that I'm pretty sure this particular daughter is not from his ex-wife. She's probably from like, I don't know. I can't
think
say for sure if she's Michelet's daughter or
nah,
whose,
I think
but
it's his first wife, somebody Johnson. I don't know. I was trying
okay.
to read up on it before we like jumped on it.
Yeah, so this is a daughter from a previous relationship. And so again, she's homeless. She's saying that he stopped, paying her bills about 2 years ago. And another detail people are like she has 4 kids as well.
Mhm.
Like young
So
kids?
And they're in the car with her?
I'm not sure.
Her
No,
kids,
I'm pretty
nah,
sure the
her
kids are living with
like
family
friends.
or their fathers
Yeah.
or whoever. They're not currently with her in the car. But
Yeah,
a lot of
that's what I
people.
read. Her kids are living with like relatives.
So the situation, I feel like there's obviously everything is always going to be divided. There are the people who were like, well, what, that's crazy. Your child should never be homeless. You're a billionaire. Why aren't you helping your kid? And then there's the people who are like,
She's a grown
um,
ass woman.
yeah. And I mean, me, I feel like on I understand both sides of the situation, but like we have to understand when we're talking about, I don't care if it's celebrities, if it's the richest person on earth, when we're talking about people and their children, a lot of times these people, and I think another part of the story is I don't think he wasn't like actively present in her life growing up, but still, that's not here or there for the current situation. That's not important. But a lot of people, your child, you know, and he's been paying. I mean, at some point, he was obviously paying her bills. So let's not act like he wasn't helping her out at some point. But like, at what point? No, I wouldn't necessarily want to. I don't want to see my child homeless. But like, if I've been paying your bills for this long, um, what are we doing to help the situation? Like, I'm not saying you got to go bust, like wash tables and stuff, but like, are you trying? Are we trying? Like, what are we doing? You
I feel
know?
like I need to know more
Yeah.
about the situation for sure.
And like,
So
where
like,
do we take responsibility? Like, as a 38-year-old with 4 children, at what point? And I understand, COVID and stuff like that, but like, were you down bad before COVID? Is it COVID's fault, or did you just not give a fuck? Like, did you just think that, oh well, my dad's a billionaire, he got me? And I feel like that's where people go wrong. Yes, you should do what you can to help your children, but at the same time, money doesn't fix everything, and
somebody right
you
here,
can't.
right behind you, right
Someone
behind
behind you, Newt. You can't.
you. Damn.
You can't. You can do.
Poor Devin across the fucking stage.
There's some situations where you can do all you can, and all you want for your children, whether it's allegedly raise them properly, give them all the financial help that you can, and they still would end up in a situation that's not favorable. And that's just sometimes that's on the person themselves. That's not at the fault of the parent.
That's on
You know?
me, baby. Yeah, facts.
Yeah, I mean, so I was trying to read up on it a little bit before we jumped on, and part of what I read, and like I realized that I think she's 38, so
Yes.
obviously, it sounds from what I understand, it sounds like he supported her for a certain amount of time. So think about like, oh, okay, like I'm 10 and I'm getting X amount of money, so and so supporting me, so and so is doing this for me. And like, okay, now I'm 38. That means that I've had 28 years of somebody supporting me and doing X, Y, and Z. So like, I've probably got certain habits. Like, I probably have a certain lifestyle that's conducive to someone giving me, even if it's like 10 grand a month. Like if somebody gave me 10 grand a month, like I would absolutely live a completely different lifestyle. But like, I don't know, bro. Like I was reading an article that said whatever car she's living out of is $2,300 for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I saw that it was $700 a week or something like that.
Right. So like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you
And
have
so,
a
but the
fucking
thing
mortgage for a car.
my
Like,
thing
you
is
have a
like,
mansion
okay,
mortgage.
we need to stop, like, cut the crap. If somebody was giving me an allowance of that, like at that magnitude,
Already up, or you going to the lobby?
I went to lobby.
I'll sit up.
I'm sitting out. Actually, I'm about to log off.
Okay.
Oh, goddamn, 47. So.
See, well, I got like one left in me too.
But like, my question is like, I just feel like if somebody was giving me Like if I had their parent and they were paying my bills, or they were, they were giving me like even 10,000 a month or whatever, right? Did you blow all the 10,000? Like,
Right.
did we not set some aside? And people,
What you need a savings for though, if you're used to getting funded your whole life.
but I mean,
Nah,
yeah,
I
but
think
you
you
always
gotta.
have to have a fallback plan.
Mhm.
And
That's because you think logically because you have had to have it, but she has clearly not ever had to have it. She's never had to worry about money.
I guess, but okay, but what about other people who grew up in environments where they had rich. Your daughter did that. Yes, they had rich, wealthy parents, but whatever money that they got, they took that shit, flipped it, and made a business or something. You know?
People don't have that drive though.
So like, but okay, what I'm getting at, my thing is, at 38 with 4 children, you need to find some fucking drive.
Or you need to learn how to budget. Like
You need to
it
figure
doesn't
something
fucking
out.
matter.
That's crazy. You have 4 children.
Yeah,
You
and
have four.
like
It's not just you and 4 children.
right. I mean, also like obviously. So I mean, she might just have wanted to have 4 children. She also might just be really irresponsible and just like dick. But like, I having one child, like that shit is a really big fucking commitment. Like you have to be smarter about how you handle your money and handle your life, knowing that you have 4 people that are reliant on you. And like, I just, I don't know. I feel kind of bad for her. Like, sure, like if I was
I mean,
if I
nobody
was
should
a
be
child of
homeless.
yeah. Like if I was a child of a multimillionaire and I had 4 kids, like I'd probably feel betrayed, or I'd probably feel like, oh, like I should have X, Y, and Z, this, that, and the other. But like, I also feel
But
like I would
sometimes
be smart enough to know that like
I feel like sometimes we
I
have
might
to
not
be
always have
accountable for
it.
the situations we're in. And so
Right.
people were like, well, he could easily just, easily buy a $200,000 house or whatever. But I feel like the flaw in that thinking is, okay, so at this point, obviously, I don't know. If I buy you a house, the least you could do is pay the utilities.
Mm-hmm.
But like at this point, I buy you a house and now I gotta maintain the bitch. So no. And then people also brought up, so apparently Dr. Dre had a son who died of a drug overdose a while back.
Oh,
And
wow.
so with this particular son, I guess I don't know if he probably, I think they said he wasn't necessarily present in his life, and that he wasn't even paying child support that for the child. And people were trying to make the argument that if if he was more financially stable, if he was getting the child support that he was supposed to pay, have, which first of all, who is to say that he would have gotten? He's not gonna. The child support's not going to him. It would be going to his mother. So what are we talking about? But people were saying like maybe if he was better off financially, he would not have um, become a drug addict and overdosed and died. Now I'm like, if this is the argument we're gonna make, are we really gonna sit here and act like there's that we don't know that there are whole rich ass celebrities out here who were still meth heads and drug heads? Like, are we really gonna
I
act
would
like
say
that?
most kids I
Like,
know that
a,
are addicted to drugs were like very affluent kids.
yeah, but like my thing is, a drug addict is a drug addict, regardless of they could be broke, they could be rich. If they're gonna be a drug addict, they're gonna be a drug addict, and it's just that simple. It's no, oh well, if they weren't if they had more money, they wouldn't be a crackhead. Please stop it.
The money is what makes them a crackhead.
So I'm like, the people trying to make that argument, it's just y'all are.
There's an
I mean,
artifact here. Everyone's got this.
I'm not saying he's father of the year. It's clearly there were some issues with that situation, but now it's like now we're grasping at straws. And so, like I said, to that effect, money can't fix everything. I can give you all the money in the world, but if you're not going to actually, like, what are you actually doing with it? You know?
Right.
And so so this morning I also saw an article on Twitter about like Jackie Chan and his son. So I think allegedly Jackie Chan said that when he died, his son, who I think currently is in China, will not get his get his estate. He will donate his estate to charity. And the reason I say parents know their children better than anybody else. They know their children better than a bunch of people on social media know their children. Because Jackie Chan's son, I'm pretty sure the article said his son had been arrested and charged a couple of times with drug charges for like say having parties at his in his apartment or penthouse or whatever with drugs involved, to marijuana charges and stuff like that. So he probably figures at this point, and I'm sure it's not like he probably is helping his son out. So it's like at this point, if I'm helping you out and you're still, you still over here fucking the bag up, doing stupid shit, getting drug charges, why the fuck would I leave my whole estate to you?
Right.
So, like I said, like Dr. Dre was clearly supporting her in some capacity at some point. But what was the driving factor in him stopping?
Yeah, like what? Yeah.
Cause she a dumbass.
And most parents, like to be quite fair, most parents in general, they'll help their children, but there's at some point there's like, okay, well, I'll keep helping you, but I need you to figure something. I need you to get a job or something.
Yeah.
It's like they don't just up and quit on their
It can't just
children.
be give. Like,
And people were like, well, this is proof that Black parents are financially abusive. I'm like, financially abusive? I feel like that's a reach. Financially abusive because at some point they have to call, like, when do they say when? And then another thing to me is just like, I mean, all shade. I just don't understand how some people, like some of these people, your parents, like some people's parents don't have two nickels, or even if they did, wouldn't wouldn't even send their child $5 to help them out if they needed it. And now all of a sudden we're all experts on what celebrities should be doing for their children.
right.
And that's like how I feel about charity too. Everybody's always trying to tell people who needs to donate what to charity, but I'm like, did you donate? Are you donating while you're sitting here trying to tell other people what they need to donate?
Yeah, I just think of it like, I don't know, why are you so invested that you want the world to know your little opinion on that? Like, where people are just, they feel like their opinion is so important to get out. It's so valid to get out. It's so important to get out. It's like you are just some random Twitter user making a commentary on Dr. Dre. It's like, relax.
I mean, and to me, at the end of the day, all the commentary in the world, his daughter's still homeless. So
Me, I'm just like, yeah, it's a sad situation, but I'm not investing, like me personally, I just feel like, she has a false sense of entitlement. But at the end of the day, I don't want if my daughter has 4 kids and she can't take care of them, I'm going to make sure, like, at the end of the day, yeah, I'm going to make sure, okay, yeah, I have to do this, but, there's going to be some.
yeah, I mean, I would definitely help my children out.
Yeah, I would definitely
like,
help my child out. And
I need
I
you
feel
to
like
help
he has to know better.
me help you.
Yeah. And I feel like, it may, this is just me speaking, but like, I'm not going to like put all my energy into like, but I just feel like as a celebrity, like you just know, like, okay, this shit is gonna get out one day. You know, like this is gonna hit the news, and I'm not gonna know what to say or just.
This nigga is also isn't he paying his ex-wife like 300 grand a month?
I mean, I
That's
feel
a
like she earned every
that's a
bit.
win.
First of
That's a
all,
win
we know
for him.
Dr. Dre. Well, allegedly, Dr. Dre used to be beating on the woman's asses. Okay, so
Ooh.
they might have earned that money. Well, she, because everybody else ain't
I
getting
don't
shit.
know,
But
man. 300 racks a month. That's a fucking lot.
So
I don't know
if
that you
you're
can.
if you're a
I mean,
billionaire,
it's a lot to fathom for
He's
us.
not a
But
billionaire though. Like
the whole
a
premise.
whole bunch of niggas on Twitter is like, oh, his net worth is 820 million. Okay, so he's like nearly a billionaire, but like, bro, 300 grand a month is $3.5 million a year. Like
Well,
that's
so
insane.
people talking about celebrities' net worth, right? I think that there's a disconnect when we think about net worth. Net worth is not like he might
It's not their
have
bank
that,
account.
but not all celebrities, like their net worth is not what they have. That's what they've amassed
Exactly.
over a period of time. So Dr. Dre could really only have 2 million to his name at this point. It's not to say that he has a full million in assets in his current possession.
Well, right. No, I wholeheartedly agree
So
with that.
when
Like,
people speak about I'm so
the
sorry.
fuck?
When people speak about net worths in that sense, I'm like, y'all have it kind of fucked up. And that's like where I'm like, sometimes like we need to stay in broke ass people's business. Okay. This is not our fight. This is not our conversation to be had.
Because I'll tell you right now, like, I mean, I don't know what the fuck my net worth is, but like, I can tell you one thing: whatever the fuck my net worth is not what the fuck I have in my bank account.
I mean, but honestly,
Then
that's like
calculate that
there's.
shit.
I mean, how many celebrities do we know that have gone bankrupt? So
Right.
Toni Braxton, for instance, at some point she went bankrupt. Her net worth might be 50 million right now, but does she have that?
Mm-mm.
okay, I see what you're saying.
I mean, a lot of our parents' net worth might be higher than what we expect, but that's because they've been working their entire lives. But what do they have in their bank accounts?
Right.
What do they have access at this current moment to?
I'm broke.
Can they go cash a check for $1 billion? You know, like, can they go cash a check for that if they really needed to? Probably not.
I'm broke.
No, that makes sense.
Dr. Dre's daughter will be all right though. She'll figure it out. Maybe she won't, but it sounds like that's not his problem.
I mean, my question too is like, okay, everyone, well, I guess not everyone, but in most situations, most people who haven't had hardships, you know, who haven't lost parents, have two parents.
Mm-hmm.
So where's your mom at? Because to be quite honest, like, yes, your father's Dr. Dre, but me, for instance, I didn't grow up with my father in the house. I mean, I know who my father is and I talk to him sometimes. But if I needed money, if I was in a situation where I needed help, I promise you,
Somebody
I'm
up
not
on the hill
looking
up
to
here.
my dad. I'm not looking to my dad for help. Or like, you know, if I ask him for help, I ask just to ask. I'm not like holding him to it though. If I
Yeah.
know I need actual help, I'm asking my fucking mama.
Mama.
So I'm like, well, at this point, we're talking about a man that allegedly didn't raise you and wasn't like actively in your child, you know, in your life as a child. So, I mean, just him paying your bills up until whatever point was shit a miracle. But like, where is your mom?
Yeah. The article I saw was talking about her mom. I honestly didn't even pay that much attention to it, but like it mentioned her, if nothing else. Fuck.
My dad will call it a false sense of entitlement. Like, what makes you feel like you're entitled to, my money, basically?
Fuck.
I see, and me, like growing up, I always had this. To me, I've always had this sense of like, if you growing up wealthy is not you yourself being wealthy. Your parents are wealthy,
Yeah.
but when you get out on your own,
Man, you're about to die. I'm about to die. I'm about to die. I'm about to die. Fuck.
Oh fuck.
when you get out
Nah.
on your own, that's not necessarily you being wealthy. And I mean, some people have a family situation where it works out that way. If their parents are rich, they're rich. That's cool. But in a lot of situations, it's not the case.
Right.
Like their parents will do what they can to set them up, but I don't feel like my mom, for instance, she's worked. You've worked since you was 16. The money that you have that you've earned since you were 16, I don't have claim to that shit.
Right.
That's not my birthright. Like what?
It's interesting that you say that. So I was talking about like me and wifey, since we're editing names out, but me and wifey talk about that. Or we were actually talking about that like literally earlier today about how like we didn't grow up in like underprivileged households. Like I think we both grew up in a pretty like we're both millennials, so I'll say we grew up in millennial middle class households. You could maybe argue like upper middle class, but like I would just argue we were middle class. But like for instance, like when we're in the car, so like my wife has a 2019 like Mazda CX-5, and she has a sunroof. And like I don't have a sunroof in my car. I don't know if y'all have sunroofs in your cars, but like my son gets in my wife's car and he's like, "Can we open the sunroof?" And like I used to work for a mattress company, so I recognize the value in having a really good mattress, but also having like an adjustable base underneath my bed. So like he's used to, oh, like when I go up to a bed, like the bed should move. And like our first home is we have 5 bedrooms, and like I grew up in a 3-bedroom home. Like my wife grew up in a 3.5, 4-bedroom home, but like my son is growing up with all of those things, like almost thinking all those things are normal. And I'm like, no, nigga, like those are not normal. Like, obviously, I want you to be able to experience all those different things. And I hope you get to experience those things and more. But like, and like, obviously, I don't want you to struggle, like all that other shit. Like, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I can to make sure he's not in a bad situation, like while he's growing up and maturing. But like, he also is gonna have that mindset of like, oh, like, why the fuck doesn't this bed move? Like, why doesn't this vehicle have like a roof that opens up? Like, why is this house so small? Like,
what is this shit in the back of the TV?
I grew up in a 4-bedroom home,
right.
home, and my mom. So the house that I grew up in from kindergarten up until the time I left for college, she's still at that house. And but my thing is like the way like growing up like that, like we don't see it as normal. But I feel like the thing is we need to stop commodifying and hyping the struggle. Like
right.
A lot of people
and you got somebody to your left
thing,
that's on foot behind that
like,
tree. To your
I
right.
feel like Black people,
like,
especially
in that area behind that big tree.
Black people, especially, we have a habit of like the struggle should not be a rite of passage for Black people. Like we think it's like humble beginnings and all of this stuff, and you can be able, if you are actually a competent parent, I feel like you and your competence, you should be able
To
to
your left.
provide your
I'm
child
right there.
with a good, stable life and provide them with even better things than you had as but also teach them. You can teach your children to
Right.
be humble, and you can teach your children to appreciate and recognize the privilege that they have without
Right.
them having to grow up in the struggle. And I feel like that's like a disconnect that we have in the community. Like people think that everybody has to start from the bottom. If you don't start from the bottom, you're spoon fed. And it's
Yeah.
like like we're am I spoon fed because I lived in a stable environment? Because I feel like this is like we've reached a low point if
Hit the
that's
car
the
with your
case.
SMG.
If
You'll blow it up.
I don't even know that I'm there.
if the
Oh,
standard has become the struggle, that's a problem.
right. No,
Like that's not
de-
that is in no
definitely agree
way
with that shit.
cute at all. And
Yeah.
like
94.
I'm
it's
about to
just
smack him right here.
I'm like I understand the struggle is real. Things happen. People
Got
you
'em.
know the struggle, like people live in the struggle, but I feel like there's different aspects. Like the struggle can also be a mindset, and you don't necessarily have to stay in that struggle mindset. You might be struggling, but you don't have to have that mindset every day, you know?
Right. And I think this may be a topic for another night, but I don't know, I think maybe you posted a topic around or maybe you didn't, but like something that's been on my mind and something I've talked about with like some of the people I'm close with is like the just kind of like the wealth generation of like black people. Like I think we're in that area, we're in that time frame where like a lot of black people are like generating wealth, but like I also think some people tend to like over sensationalize it. Like
Yeah.
you
I think
and
that
you,
goes
like
into my financial, probably like my
yes,
the financial literacy versus financial stability.
hmm
And like I feel like you can have both. People think that you have to have money to be financially literate, but I feel like it goes both ways. There are people we know. There are people who have money, and there are people who have money and are not financially literate. But it's just the fact that they are able to recoup their money so quick that it doesn't matter.
right. And I would add to that like I don't know. Well, I guess maybe the angle I was thinking of or coming from is that like I think there are a lot of people that are black or even just people of color like in our generation that are like multimillionaires, and that's great. I think that's excellent. But like when you think about the I don't know, maybe like the law of averages, or when you think about just the entirety of black people, like everyone's not going to be a multimillionaire in 12 months or 18 months or 5 years. Like you also have to think about the fact that like we're up against when we think about the wealth distribution of our country. Obviously white people have property, they have all this other shit, but like what it really boils down to me is that like you have 400 years of people being able to say like, oh, like my great 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 grandfather bought this for $1,000 when he was 18 years old, and now that plot of land is worth like $40 million. And it's like, oh, okay, like now you have all this wealth in your family. And like for me, I think it's that obviously there are like it's a spectrum. There are some black people or people of color that have had the opportunity to gain an immense amount of wealth in a really short amount of time. And then there are some people that are still struggling, and there are kind of those people in the middle. But like I think you also have to be realistic in that like we're not going to generate that kind of wealth for our children and grandchildren in one generation. Like it's still going to take us. It might not take us 400 years. Maybe it takes us 200 years. But like it's going to take us It's still going to take us a really long time to generate the level of wealth that we see from some of our I mean, I guess I can call them counterparts, but that we'll see from
Mhm.
people that are not black or people of color. But also, like going back to the financial literacy discussion, like there's still a ton of people that just don't understand how like finances work, don't understand how really simple things like interest work, or like, you know, like having equity in something. Like it we're at a ton of different disadvantages, and it's going to take us a long time to
Work
get
those
to
out.
a point. Right, like it's just not going to happen overnight. So when I think of like how can I make, like, I think my wife and I think, okay, like we have a, you know, we more than likely have a better life than our parents had. That's great, and we want to provide a better life for our son. But it's unrealistic to go like, oh, we're gonna make our son a millionaire by the time he's 18. But maybe we can go, okay, like our son's gonna have $1, $2, or $300,000 by the time he's 18. But like that's more realistic than thinking like, oh, we're gonna make him a millionaire. We're gonna make sure he's a multimillionaire with all these different properties, blah blah blah. Like that to me is kind of like an outlier. But like we still have to like build on that. We have to, you know, educate other people about that. We have to make sure that like those around us are of the same mindset, and that they instill the same values, and that they invest the same way. But like at the end of the day, I think you have to be realistic in just that, like, yes, like we're in a much better position to create wealth for ourselves than our parents were or our grandparents, but it's not going to happen overnight. And yeah, I just it's
I mean, we have to like. I feel like with especially in terms of creating generational wealth, I feel like the conversation that needs to be had is that, like you said, it's not. It doesn't happen overnight. Like if by chance you are that like that success story that it happened overnight for you, you have like, are we instilling these same things in our kids? So I've created generational wealth for my kids, but are the kids going to carry that on? Like that's contingent upon the next generations. So if it stops at your kids, you know, you did what you could to create that generational wealth, but it's not your fault that it didn't trickle down to the next couple of generations.
right.
And there's no way for you to ensure that it does, because at some point it's out of your hands, it's out of your control.
Yeah, I definitely think like we should have a, like next week we should talk about that. I don't know. I mean, I think we like touched on a lot of the points here, but I think that would be like a really good discussion for us to have, like
Oh yeah, that's
20, 30
definitely a
minute
bigger
discussion.
discussion we could have. Well, I mean, we're getting crickets from the other side, so at this point,
I'm dying.
I know, man.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I think
my
Daniel's over here
Newt
half
and that
asleep.
man Dan out here sleep.